Hello team, and welcome to the very first episode of Will It Mock, where we take the Lego City Hospital and try and turn it into an intergalactic spaceship. This is a series where I'm trying to teach myself how to mock, and if I'm learning something, then hopefully I'm teaching you something as well. Having a look through this kit, this was a fun kit to put together. There's a lot of interesting pieces and also a lot of red, white and grey pieces, which means it's going to be relatively easy to get a good looking mock build together. Now the ship that we're going to be making will be 1/500th scale, which means that we won't be able to use the many minifigures that come in the kit. This was quite a fun kit to put together. There's a few little interesting techniques that I've picked up along the way. But there's also a lot of interesting pieces. Looking through the main model, there are a lot of windows here, and figuring out how I'm going to transition them into the main ship is going to be a fair challenge. Within the model itself, there's a lot of different colours, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to be using a lot of those different colours throughout the build. We're really going to stick to the red, white and grey. Now, having a look through some of the accessories, we've got the little blue window pieces as part of the baby set there, and I think we're going to try and use those as part of the windows on the main ship. Also, there's two articulated pieces that are used within the model that I think we're going to use as our main engines. Alright, let's pull this thing down. Now you'll notice that as I'm pulling this apart, I'm putting it into groups of colour order. This just gives us a bit of a better idea on how we're supposed to put it back together again, and definitely streamlines the mock process. Okay, now that we've split everything up into different piles, we're going to start off with the motors, and I figured that the engine for this spaceship could be a 4-part modular engine. To do that, I've found pieces that we have 4 of, some interesting pieces and some normal pieces. I've put them into 4 piles. Now I've already had a bit of a play around with this, so I'll show you what I've come up with. We're going to start off with one of these articulation pieces, which are relatively interesting on their own. And the first thing we're going to do is put a couple of these 2x1s and then one of the wheels over the top. And one of the things I like about these wheels is that they do have a spoked pattern on one side and a plain pattern on the other, so that when you're repurposing them, they can look a little bit less like a wheel. Now typically with these guards, they do sit over the top of the wheel, but for this project we're going to sit them back, and that just pushes that wheel out a little bit further. Now on top of the wheel, we're going to keep the white and red hospital theme continuing. We'll put one of these back sloped pieces on. With these windows, I put the stickers on for this kit, which means 4 of these are the same and one of them's different, which is lucky for this build. We'll chuck that one on. One of these pieces, and we'll need to make sure that they're all aligned the same with the vertical stripes aligning. I'll put a curved piece on the back, 4x1 up the top, and then another curved piece on the top. Now, on its own, it's not too bad, it's a little bit interesting, but the plan is let's put everything together and see what we can come up with. Alright, just putting the final touches on it now. And then all we have to do is just align it, and she's done. So with these pieces having good articulation, you can pretty much move these motors around to wherever you like. I think they look best if they're all facing in the same direction. And then now we have it. So you can see that with just one of them on its own, it was a little bit interesting, but now that we've got 4, it certainly looks a lot better. The blue, the red and the white and the black and the light grey go together very well. In terms of where we go from here, the scale is a little open to interpretation. So the next trick is going to be finding where we go from here. The next thing we're going to work on is the main ship, and I've seen this piece here, and I can't help but see that it kind of looks a little bit like the window of the deck of a ship. And so therefore, if we use this as the main window, then the scale means that the ship itself is going to be quite massive. And so literally the rest of the ship is going to begin with this piece, and then we'll build from there. Let's see what we can come up with. Alright, here we have the final model. It's all come together quite well. We've got the red and the white. There's a nice theme throughout the whole build. The scale looks quite good. I'm really happy with how that window turned out in the front there. It really sets the sizing for the rest of the model. I'm really happy with how the engines have turned out on the back there. And overall, if you've kept the stickers on your kit, then it's going to be an ambulance freighter. But ultimately, this is some sort of a rare mineral freighter of some sort. And so far, everything's come together. There's really not a piece more that you could put on it. Every brick's taken up. And 501 pieces later, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. If you'd like a copy of some high quality instructions for this build, head to the REBRICKABLE link in the description below. However, if you'd like a free set of instructions for one of my mocks, feel free to like and follow this channel, because the next model that I upload will not only be a completely new model, but at the same time the instructions will be completely free as well. I'd be happy for you to follow my channel, and hopefully I'll see you again. Thanks very much, have fun building.